What's up, YouTube? It's your girl Breezy here, and welcome to my baking channel. This channel is basically just going to be me baking things and seeing how it turns out. A lot of times I think it'll turn out well just because I've been baking since I was like a kid and I watched my mom, who now owns her own bakery, bake. But a lot of things probably will turn out wrong just because I'm human and it happens and I'm not perfect. We'll just see how it goes, right? But also, the purpose of this channel is to kind of educate a little bit. Baking is literally chemical reactions happening. It's science, which people don't realize. You need acids, you need bases, you need things to level them out. You need to follow the instructions very, very specifically. And if you don't, it's not going to turn out the way that it's supposed to. The reaction will happen incorrectly or at the wrong time. So, the reason why I found people aren't good at baking is one of three reasons. One, they don't follow directions. With cooking, you can kind of wing it and throw in a little bit of this and a dash of that, and it's fine. But with baking, you have to follow the directions exactly. Number two, you don't understand the terminology. There's some vocabulary within baking that's not common to your everyday language. Like if I were to say, fold in the egg whites into the batter. Most people don't know what that means. The third reason is that people don't substitute things correctly. If it says you need a third cup of buttermilk, oh, I don't have buttermilk. I'm gonna just use whole milk. That won't work. So I'm here to tell you things like that you don't realize, and I'm gonna help you out and help you be able to bake. All that being said, my first recipe today is gonna be cinnamon rolls. Homemade cinnamon rolls. I don't do no box stuff, okay? That's for the birds. You need to pull your hair back and put an apron on because nobody wants hair in their cinnamon roll. Now, I'm not gonna put my hair up because it's cute and I'm on camera. But ordinarily I would, so just excuse that fact. But I'm gonna put on my apron. UT, you know I'm a Toledo alum, so now we're finally gonna get into the recipe. 1/3 cup of water. You're gonna sprinkle a 4th teaspoon of sugar into it. Sprinkle in a whole packet of yeast. And you're gonna stir that together. I like to use a whisk just because I feel like it breaks all the clumps down better. I could be wrong, but I'll let the mixture sit for a few minutes until it gets light and fluffy and kind of foamy. So we're gonna give that a minute just to sit. In the meantime, we're gonna break out my KitchenAid. Now I realize that not everyone has one of these bad boys, right? But if you're serious about baking, or if you want to be a baker, you need to invest this. So I'm gonna start off by using just the normal paddle because I gotta mix together the ingredients and I want them to like mix up really, really well. And then I'll end up switching to the dough hook, which you'll see in a little bit if you don't know what that means. So it's gonna be 1/2 cup of sugar, going in 1/3 cup of buttermilk. Sorry, 1/2 cup of whole milk at room temperature. 1/3 cup of buttermilk, 6 tablespoons of melted butter, 2 tablespoons of oil, 1 tablespoon of vanilla extract, 2 eggs slightly beaten, and a teaspoon of salt. I'm gonna go ahead and mix that together. So, putting that up, it's gonna get loud, so give me a minute. Now we're gonna put in the baking powder. By now that the yeast mixture, see how it grew a little bit and it's kind of like mounded off there. So go ahead and pour that in. Right, next you're gonna go ahead and put in the flour a little bit at a time, just so that it begins to form slowly. And you want to do it just until the dough begins to pull away from the sides. So I'll go about 1/2 cup at a time, maybe. I'll do a full cup at a time. Too fast. And as you go, you want to start scraping down the sides so that there's not flour all caked up, you know. So we're going to do another cup of flour. Go ahead and scrape down the sides again. Scraping down. No, just check the rest of it in there. Bam. Oh, I forgot. Right around this time, I'm gonna go ahead and switch to my hook. that thing at Chuck E. Cheese where, you know, it had a little wand and had a circle in the middle. You had to get it all the way around without touching the side. No? No? Okay, never mind. Okay. Put the hook on. Woo! And it looks like I'm gonna need a little bit more flour, honestly. It's still very, it's just not dough yet. You know what I mean? It's just not dough. I have maybe 3/4 of a cup here of flour that I'm gonna go ahead and like shimmy in there. Not all of it, but I'm gonna do some of it. Now we're getting there. So I'm gonna go ahead and scrape down the sides one more time, and this should probably be it because it's beginning to pull away from the sides of the bowl, which is exactly what you want. Just a little bit more flour. I'm gonna do a little bit more flour. Now the recipe also says that you should be able to stick your finger on it, a dry, clean finger, and it will not like stick to your finger, and that's how you know that it's ready. So, you see anything? It's pretty dry. It's not sticking to the spatula, which is a good thing. That means that it's dough and that it's firm enough. And now we begin the rising process. So what you're gonna do now is you're gonna put the dough into a lightly greased bowl. And I just use cooking spray. It's that good stuff from Kroger. That's good. Go ahead and dump the dough into this bowl. Okay. Then you want to go ahead and cover it up with a towel or like a napkin or something, a cloth usually, so that it can rise. And you want to try to put it in the warmest spot that you can find. So while the dough is starting to rise, we're going to go ahead and start working on our filling. So it's going to be 1/2 cup of butter, which is a stick of butter. For those who don't realize it, there are these measurements on the side of sticks of butter. You can't see, it's kind of bright. But that show you how many tablespoons there are. If it says use 2 tablespoons, the tablespoons are literally marked out for you on the stick of butter. You could just cut it there. Thing you probably don't realize. I'm going to do 2 tablespoons of cinnamon. 1/2 cup of brown sugar, which I'm going to go ahead and break this up with my hand because that'll help it disperse a little bit easier. Like that. I like that. And then an 1/8 teaspoon of salt, because everything needs salt. It's imperative. So, not just for seasoning your chicken, because you know some people don't like to season their chicken very well and don't use salt and pepper. It's like sticking to the spoon now. And that's how pretty much the whole mixture is. Just that nice, smooth brownness. So we're gonna go ahead and set that to the side because again the dough is still rising, so we can't do anything with it anyway at the moment. But just set that to the side. Next we're gonna go ahead and make the cream cheese glaze. That's gonna go on top of cinnamon rolls. Make it all ooey gooey. Good. That was so weird. I don't know what that was. Excuse it, please. So you need 1.5 cups of powdered sugar. Pour in 4 tablespoons of butter, which is also a 1/4 cup of butter. You know how I know that? The stick of the butter told me that. Gonna do a 1/2 teaspoon of vanilla. I think I accidentally did a little bit more just because I got a little happy with the bottle and I just spilled out. But you can never have too much flavor. And then it said 2 to 4 tablespoons of milk. So I just went with the middle of the road and did 3 tablespoons, so we'll see if that'll be enough. It also said a dash of salt, which is optional. But like I said, everything needs salt. So I'm just gonna take my salt shaker and do some shakes, and that's probably good. I don't have a full 4 ounces of cream cheese that the recipe calls for. Mine's like 2. But here's the thing that works out about that. I don't like my glaze on top to be super thick, and I don't like it to be super watery. So 2 tablespoons is honestly pretty good to give it that nice in-between texture that I like. And we're gonna mix this stuff up, and it'll create a nice texture, alright? Again, to make sure that the powdered sugar doesn't crust up and get all nasty. Ooh, this is so pretty. And set that aside side too, because you won't need that until after they're already baked. Excuse me. That's good. So right about this time is when I go ahead and preheat the oven so that it'll be nice and warm when I go ahead and put the cinnamon rolls in. Also, so that I can kind of create a warm environment for them to rise in, because it's not very warm in my kitchen right now since the oven's not on. So I'm gonna do that, and then hopefully it'll get them doing what they're supposed to do. So I'm gonna go ahead and clean up while those keep rising, and then we'll come back. Alright, and we're back. It's actually about an hour and a half later. I didn't do the whole hour thing just because I started watching the Jamie Foxx show and got distracted. I'm back. The dough has risen. I'm gonna go ahead and flour my countertop like that. Also, I'm gonna use gloves because I just painted my fingernails last night and I don't want any of it chipping off and getting in there. For food safety's sake, you know? We're all about the food safety. And then, actually I'm gonna do a little bit more, just to be safe. Oh crap. Let's just like, Now we're gonna take the dough, which as you can see is very big, and punch it down. Now you're gonna wanna roll this dough into a rectangle, or as rectangularly as you can get it. So, I'm gonna kind of just do this with my hands for a second, flip it over, do that, and start rolling. It doesn't have to be a perfect rectangle, as long as it's rectangular-esque, you know, like kinda, sorta rectangular, that's good. We're gonna take the cinnamon, brown sugar, butter mixture, half of it at a time. Okay, this is a little more of it, and I have a little bit more in there. I'm just gonna do it in sections so that I can make sure to coat it evenly. So, like that. I'm gonna try to oh. I got some on the ceiling. I just hope I don't forget to get that, because it'll be just my luck. She'll look up today in the kitchen and be like, Brianna, what is this? Don't need those problems. So you're starting at this end, and you're just tucking, and you want to make sure you're doing an even roll. I kind of like to pinch the little crease, because now there's a crease in it, as you can see. There's like this seam, and I try to like roll, pinch it close, if that makes sense. So we're gonna break out the cooking spray again, and give it a quick little. I do it about 1.5 inch thick, maybe, somewhere around there. Give them a little space to grow, because they're gonna grow a lot and rise a lot in the oven. I'm gonna go ahead and put them in the oven, which by the way is at 350 already. It's been preheated, and when they come out, we're gonna have some cinnamon rolls. Okay, so they just came out the oven, and don't they look gorgeous? Ooh. And I'm just gonna kind of drizzle it on top a little bit, and as I'm drizzling, I'm also smoothing it over the cinnamon rolls. Now I get to eat. Lamb. You know, no cap, like for real, no cap. These can fight with Cinnabon. Like these can square up with Cinnabon. And it's not to be arrogant, you know, but for real, like these are really good. Anyway, y'all, these are my cinnamon rolls. I actually got the dough recipe from Divas Can Cook, I believe is her name. I'll post the link in the bio down below. But yeah, I'm so proud of these. Like, I really am proud of these. That was a good first video. Thank you so much for watching. Like, comment, and subscribe. And let me know what you want me to do next. Bye.